Morgan has shapeshifted.
I mean, long hair.
Oh my god, Philip!
Hi, I'm Philip from Top Deck Heroes. You can tell by my size.
That was an insane game. If people
that was
don't know, I will
insane.
be sitting at the table for the stream. Huh?
The game was insane.
That was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I'll be sitting at the stream table judging, being the supervisor, so I'll be part of all of it.
So if anything goes wrong, blame for Philip.
100%.
Really?
I was honestly a little bit scared of what to do. That's why I called in MASH.
It was terrifying.
Because resolving the skill 10k plus draw when you could not do it.
Yeah.
Luckily, the opponent was very sportsmanlike. We all saw the card that got
And they,
drew,
like,
so
yeah,
we
agreed
could
that it's the same
confirm.
card, yeah.
We could confirm what card it was, put it back in its place.
Yeah, we heard that as well. Yeah.
He did get a warning, which means for the rest of the tournament,
He can't
if he
afford
gets
it.
to get another warning, it's going to be a bad thing.
Yeah.
But, so he's got to lock in.
Exactly.
Lock the fuck in.
This is very much a good point of advice for anybody competing in any BCS.
Be careful.
If you're feeling nervous, feeling overwhelmed, getting stressed, and
Slow down.
you can take
Breathe.
10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, calm
But
yourself
if you
down.
take 21, I
breathe.
will report you for slow playing.
Calm
You
yourself
have got more
down.
time.
Exactly.
You got.
Yeah.
You do get overtime in Top Cut.
Yep.
So and it's 10 minutes.
10
So-
minutes or best 3 rounds. 0, 1, 2, 3.
Wow, it happens fast. So breathe, and you've got this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you
I'll-
sure?
All right.
back now?
I'm gonna shift back.
Oh yeah, Philip, can you grab us the next pairings if you can?
Yes.
Cool, thank you.
So I'm Philip again. So
This is my power move. I get to run Philip around. This is such a power trip. Have you ever run a 6'7" man ragged before? That is a power trip. I'm like, Philip, would you please fetch me the deck logs?
Fetch
Thank
me
you.
the water,
Thanks,
Philip.
dear. Thank you, dear. Fetch me the deck logs. Cheers. Thank you, my liege.
I'm still on edge from that game. That was an insane. I know we said the last round of Swiss was the best game, but this
We were like,
took
he's
the
so
cake.
close, and then we're like, he's so cooked. And then the first it was, oh, maybe. Second, you'll, like, guys, this is winnable.
That was an insane. But also, what's really funny, that card that was in his hand, that was different, was the card that draws on play.
Yeah.
That would have been Esperidia if it was a Michael's list.
Yeah.
So, and that would
That
have
would
won
have won
him
the
the
game.
game.
Because Michael would not have got that, yeah. That's
So-
the thing, it's these small decisions that really add up. That's what we keep talking about. Like, you look at individual card choices and, like, they just determine matchups. Because the thing is, well, there are two ups.
Yeah.
So they were both running them, very little of them. He saw one in the early game, another one not until the end. And he came up and lost,
That would-
unfortunately lost him the game. But
That would have won him the game if it was if they were on list for list.
yeah.
And that is
If they were going
crazy.
band for band.
Band for band.
If they were going band for band, Michael just wanted them all.
So on that and it came to the minute details of the list.
It's so good. Like, that's such a goated part of it, though.
It's games like that which make me happy to be casting.
Like, you know, games that are so gas. Like, it's just the fact that, like, you watch these, like, individual moments just, like, define a game like that is crazy. Because, like, Michael starts, and first off, he, like, damage denies him. Then he checks OT. Oh, crap. Then he, like, keeps, like, incrementally, like, messing it up and, like, denying himself, going, do I just die? Because he keeps pushing his opponent, but opponent goes, well, look. Tam goes, look. I gotta deal some damage eventually. I can't do this otherwise. Goes in. Michael then draws the ladder. We're like, oh my god, he's
The
got
ladder
it.
draw as well was
Then we see Tam's
insane.
go to
damaging
damage.
the ladder. Oh.
And then we go back to Michael and go, well, he's got this. Swings and the double heal. Like, the back. You're constantly thinking, like, Michael's got it. Oh, Tam's so cooked. Oh, Michael. And then Tam is just back.
He was
Like-
back. Tam was fighting for that game. He was fighting for dear life. Unfortunately, it was not enough. Will Michael take that energy and run it all the way? Will he run the gauntlet?
I hope to see it. Oh, we got our champions for Shadowverse. So we should go show our respect, and we'll see you guys in just a moment. Let's go show our respect to the Shadowverse community on their first major BCS. We'll see you guys in about 1 minute, or a couple minutes. See you guys. Hey, yo, Udman. We can finally shut him up. April's game is next.
You got Norman in April.
Yeah, we got him. We already sorted the deals out.
That goes good?
I believe so. Should be in a moment. Don't start the game though until we say so. Yeah.
I'm going to get them to get set up, position, post mulligan.
Perfect.
Let
Thank
me
you.
know when.
Thank you very much.
So
we go.
Fennel
Copy the game.
versus Nui, I think.
I believe so. I think that sounds correct, actually. So if we're looking at
Rooting for April
Norman.
for this. I want.
I mean, yeah, this is our locals. Like, we got to do what we got to do, right?
This is
Michael
borderline
and
April, and this is a Brexit W.
This is a certified Brexit blast, as the kids say. But I think the one thing that's going to be really, really cool to do is we're going to slowly be transitioning over. We're not starting just yet. We are going to be prepping our people's kind of decals up so we can start talking about it. But in the meantime, no one's Nui versus April. How do you reckon this matchup's going to work out for us?
I haven't seen Fennel play in
Ever.
to be perfectly honest. So I actually don't know what to expect. That being said, April likes to talk about her decks, and she says Fennel has a pretty good Nui matchup.
But she's also the one that's been saying Granblue wins from this position for the past 4 years.
So could it be?
But it keeps winning, so I mean...
it keeps winning. So could it be a... Could April be the one that's favoured?
Maybe.
I haven't seen a lot of Fennel players in this event.
There we are.
But yeah, Fennel is... April is doing very well with Fennel. So...
Well, it's because for those of us who watch, different fights content, obviously he was covering some of the, I believe it was from either Malaysia or Singapore, I believe, one of the, it might have been one of the Japanese events, I believe it might have been, where effectively somebody took Fennel because it's a deck that, you know how we were talking earlier about decks that make big columns?
Yeah.
That is Fennel. Fennel is big numbers.
The one thing I do know about Fennel is those numbers,
they're
numbering.
They stay mathing. Like, those numbers are big. Like, and the thing is, like we were saying, that's again, in standard, that's nothing to scoff at. Those numbers are scary. You can't just ignore them. You can pretend they don't exist, but, it's going to be to your detriment at the end of the day. And so what we're going to be able to do in a moment is we're going to be able to get started. So we're just going to be able to notify the judges that they're good to go. And at the moment, they're just going to mulligan and go from there. And so
doing the last bit of shuffling.
Yeah, and the only thing that we should have changed and forgot is that we are now officially
in top 8.
This top 8
would normally be where we would start.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have seen amazing games like Michael's. Absolutely unhinged game. That was crazy. And yet, here we are. So they're going to be seeing
let's hope first. This game lives up to that hype. So, there's a Dragon Empire starter.
I can't believe it. Fennel players stay eating good. So, actually, interesting thing about Fennel, it is a 3-attack deck, but what we see April discarding there is the signature order that Fennel is almost entirely based on. It is called Trick or Treat, and you can run 16 of it in your deck. So the thing is, Fennel allows you to play a few orders. The first one allows you to your opponent to choose one of their rear guards, and they put it at the bottom of their deck. And if they didn't put a rear guard, you draw one. So it's always a bot deck, which is, again, board removal. If you do it twice, you draw a card and countercharge. And if you activated 3 orders, you choose up to 1 grade 3 or grade from drop and revive it. So you just start reviving your entire board. So it really starts scaling up as the game goes on.
I'm looking forward to seeing all these orders get played. I'm watching Fennel. I'm watching April cook. At the start of the tournament, we wanted to see people cook with decks that we haven't seen. This is the only Fennel deck that we've seen all day.
And I would like to make a correction. We did say we were wrong. This is a Doji deck.
Doji deck.
So it's Fennel into Doji. So it's an even more interesting matchup, I think.
Yes.
Because you're looking at a deck that goes very wide against a deck that goes very tall. And you're going to start seeing kind of which one
can beat the other.
The tallest deck of today versus the widest deck of history. Yeah, so April's gone, and unfortunately, so yeah, we do see April immediately going to 1. So it's weird. So our grasp is going to be really warped this game, because the fact that there's 16 trick-or-treats here. Ooh, April going to 2 is a bit rough, but all these trick-or-treats, remember, there are 16 of them in this deck. So you could see 10 of them out, and you still are in a pretty decent position, actually. But also, obvious synergy cards.
She added 2. Looks like she added 2.
Yeah, so yeah, you can search. So what the card sheet is effectively triggered right now. We can see it right here. This is a... Oh, is that not loading up properly? Hello? Oh, that's supposed to be going on. Okay. Yeah, so our line searches out some trick-or-treat orders, and there is an obvious card that synergizes with Fennel as a whole.
And that
card is Strega.
Strega.
So, again, top 5 search. Again, build the board. Build the board is always fantastic. And If the card has been placed during this turn, which of course is often going to be the case, you CB1, gain 10k, and draw a card. It's so much value out of one
Look at
card.
all this value that April is committing now.
Yeah, we're seeing April flood her entire back row, like completely, with Prank Explorer Chrissy here, who is, when it's placed on Vanguard, counterblast 1, you search your deck or drop for a Trick or Treat, so you know, like the one we discarded earlier, we put it back into the hand. And if you did search the deck, you shuffle it. But even more importantly, if your drop has 3 more Trick or Treats, it's 5k. Yeah, and there you go. That's all the value that you're going to be getting.
Board.
That's so much value on turn 2. So Striggle will not be drawing this time, but she is able to build a board. So you are getting so much value out of one card. And yeah, April's just chill. You can see, like, April is playing with no hesitation. She has practiced this deck.
She knows this matchup.
She knows all 3 of the attacks that this deck can do back to front. She can count to 3 so good.
But she'll have to count to more than 3 soon. She'll have to count to 16 potentially.
No!
And look at her. She's just throwing the cards down. She is confident. She is here to win.
Yeah. And the sad, no, not sad rather, but the interesting, so we see the double Strega, which is a monoplastic. But importantly, we see a PG that is potentially returnable. And one downside Fennel could have is that it's one of those decks that puts us in a really weird position. So it doesn't have defensive options. That front trick is pretty good. We get to see our opponent going to 1. Those triggers are really good, but the trouble with all those drive checks, and again, we're taking another one, is that you don't so much win by... You don't shred their hand so much. Or rather, you win by... You don't, because you don't need defensive options. Because you shred their hand so much that their clapback is so pathetic that you're just surviving through that. So it's not like a traditional survivable deck, which is why it was such a slept-on deck for such a long time. Because people read the cards and were like, well, this has no shield, right? Not realizing that if I shred your card to everything but your absolutely necessary persona ride, and you drive check 2 blanks, you're not killing me.
You are cooked, yeah. But that's a double.
Yeah, that's Keidachi coming out. So yeah, it's going to be 1 to rear, 1 to soul, and 1 to soul is 1 to bind.
2 to bind.
Yeah, so he binds it and he soul charges, and that's absolutely fine. We see him here soul charging a card that allows us to, when you call from bind zone, you put him to soul and you draw a card, or when you place him on rear, you may choose a card from your drop zone and put it into your soul. So again, it helps you set up the deck really, really efficiently.
Both of these players have a practically full board.
Oh.
These players, they're going in. They want this game to be over.
Well, the longer Fennel drags it, the more whittled down Norman's hands is going to be, and April really needs the aggro here.
Easy guard.
That's the Ojigishi coming out already. The Ojigishi swing again with the Raiden Kunai.
Double intercept.
And yeah, April's looking. She's thinking, can I do it? And she's smacking the heel.
She doesn't need
the front.
She doesn't need triggers while we're going.
Well, she has CC if she has a trick or treat, right? And ooh, that's an Elementaria I'm thinking we're seeing there. I think if we peek over at April's hand, we're going to see an Elementaria there. So that's the first trick or treat. Ooh, that's a good start. Discarding the trick or treat, so now we have 4 in drop. That's 5. That's a lot. We know there's definitely 2 more in hand. And
6.
yeah, I mean, that's the interesting thing. So we're seeing 6. That's a lot of Fennels, but
7.
remember, Fennel allows us to break the rules, though. Because if we look over here at Fennel, she does think it's the continuous that says that you can play up to 3 orders so long as they're non-Regalis Beasts. Oh, so long as they're either Regalis Beasts or Trick or Treats.
Yeah.
So there are worlds where you perhaps go for 2 orders. You know, you give up with the last revive, but you trade that in for like a ladder or something.
For a ladder or chalice.
Yeah. Because again, if your numbers are big, go for bigger, right?
She is swinging. She's here for numbers.
Yeah, her opponent's going to be looking on the eye going, I don't know if I got this.
But the thing is, Shoujo has an inbuilt PG.
Shoujo burns the Elementaria already, and April goes first check, PG, second check. Oh, is that a Vashblot? I can't quite make that card out. That seems
That looks like the crit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is the button. Yep, yep. We're looking at the best card in the game. We are looking at Michelle.
Michelle.
I believe she's hot stamped as well. She's got a big bear, but
2 cards in hand. Look at that. Look at that hand. It's just gone.
Yeah. Like we said, it's just the and he has to eat it. That is so unfortunate for Norman. Oh, we do see a heal there, so he does heal down to 3.
This is an insane game.
The surprise, you can see a lot of triggers going to the damage zone. Those are 2 fronts.
2 fronts, yeah.
especially for Doji, that's really rough in a deck against a deck like Fennel. But also, don't be misled. Fennel has really fake hands. We just saw April magic up, what, 4 orders? 5 orders even? Like, that is a lot of dead cards that, while they do grant hell value, are not shield. And I'm going to keep repeating this. Standard is a format that's all about shield.
But I am concerned just with the amount of hand that Shoujo can use.
Oh, I apologize. I am being let know by the Twitter police that it is trick and treat. This is a land of opportunity. We get everything here. Ooh, so we get to see the bind here, but I don't like this. I don't like this at all. So no one is giving her the double Strega back, potentially. Because he has CB, so he's probably going to dump it, but if he doesn't, you are looking at, you are looking at giving Strega back, because at the end of the day, right, like, even if you activate Strega, wrong one. The thing with Strega is it's when it's placed on rear guard, other than by the ability of a unit card, you place it by an order.
Yeah.
So that still procs the effect. And that seems really, really dangerous. Like, am I crazy?
So, I think
because even if he dumps it, right?
The alternative is bounce back the
Or bind the PG.
yeah, bind the PG.
Because Fennel can't get that back.
Yeah, Fennel can't get the PG back. So I feel like I would have got rid of the PG here. But it could just be that.
There goes adding that Persona Ride.
Yeah, there goes adding Persona Ride.
Yeah, and Tsukidachi coming out.
But this is.
This is some top tier game though. Yeah, making sure the area is clear because this game state can get really messy, so you have to be super careful about this.
Absolutely. If you're playing a deck like this, make sure you are confident with it and keep your zones clear.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to keep your field organized.
I think.
Because it has to be coherent to your opponent as well. And
I think we might see the overtrigger in April's hand.
Absolutely. Let's get a glimpse of if we can actually see that there. So we're looking at another trick and treat. The front is coming out already. That's a little unfortunate. But yeah, then the Doji attacks. He goes for the unprecedented hand to the right in Kunai. And then, because 2 went in, and he already had a Tsukidachi in Soul. So again, you can't get yourself mixed up. You got to resolve this in order. The Tsukidachi adjustment to Soul can't be called, but the one that was already there absolutely can be. And so yeah, unprecedented draws him a card. Tsukidachi, CB1, gets called. And I believe we might even see... Oh no, never mind. That was earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking of Ojigishi Yamakura. I wasn't there this time. I'm thinking of another time. Man, these kind of things turn out so close. This is really nerve-wracking if you're April.
But the one thing to note is April is on 3 damage, potentially going to 4.
Yeah, that really starts adding up in this matchup. Because unprecedented last swing, April might just go, you know what, actually, I might just take it. But I think April tries to guard here.
I think April
that's the red OT that we see out. But, at the end of the day, I think you'd rather that. Because, again, you don't want to be on 5 into Doji. That's their sweet spot. You're in such a rough spot. And she can still heal you. It's not even like she's particularly struggling, right?
Yeah.
Because her Vanguard always swings first. Because you don't have any attack extensions, Fennel will always find itself swinging first. So April is in no risk of getting damage denied here.
No way, with no way of removing countercharge draw.
Do you reckon she tries to revive a Strega here? I feel like you do, right? Because without open CP, that's so much card draw you can be missing.
Yeah.
You could potentially be missing out on.
3.
Yep, 1.
Yep.
And then we're going to grab that Strega, right? Oh, or not. Oh, so we grab the Fennel grade 1. And then we're thinking, there we go. There we grab the double Strega.
Double Strega.
That's so good. From hand, just neutral, natural Strega.
Oh, those were the added back Stregas.
Oh, of course they were, yeah.
So these are going to be big. The problem is...
Ebra can just draw 2.
Yeah.
Nothing's stopping him. And she's going to Vanguard. Her opponent goes, you know what? You can have it. I ain't doing that. But can they afford to do that? Because they'll just get crit out of the game. Because his hand is not big. Like, we don't get a very good sight of it, but his hand is not massive here. It's like, 3 cards? That's not a lot to work with.
But it is one of them is a Persona ride.
And one of them
we know 3 of these cards.
And there's 2 or 3 in there, and we know that one of them is a grade 1 that he hasn't used yet. So yeah, he's looking at 3 cards and twin cast.
But there is one unknown.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that card might be twin cast. Which is often, yeah, it is. So it's a flex spot that Doji haven't had. Ooh. Yeah, so that's very unfortunate here. Because what's effectively happening here is, oh, yeah, we had to eat that crit, did we? Because we're on 5 damage, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, 5 now.
All 3 fronts in there. That's
That is
rough.
unfortunate.
So yeah, the card he's potentially sitting in his hand currently is a card called Twin Cast, introduced in set 3. So it is a Blitz order that allows you to be a 10k shield, and then separately you can bind it from the drop zone. It gains 5k and acts as a shield for 5k for every grade of the unit being attacked, so 15k in this
But
case.
it's no sick deal. And April wins.
Yeah, absolutely crazy game. That just happens sometimes. Fennel seemingly just beating the best decks in the game by just making the biggest numbers you've ever seen.
Big numbers win game.
Yeah, these numbers are just crazy, like insane numbers.
Who needs to multi-attack when you can just hit for really big and really hard?
Well, like we were saying earlier, the thing with it is you get them whittled down so far that they can't clap back at all. So you don't need those defensive cards because the find they muster up is so little. It's so weak. Like, what did Doji do? Like, I mean, that was a good Doji turn, but you didn't have the OG sheet because you had to dump them.
Yeah.
Everything you need, you dumped because you had to, and you end up in this situation. And Fennel takes it. Fennel's now in top 4.
Fennel wins from this position.
Apparently so. And now Fuzzy can put it on his can put it on his stuff now. It's fine. Oh, there we go. We gotta quickly return. Oh, that's not it. We can quickly. There you go. That was a little bug. There you go. We just do a little return to main. There we are. And yeah, I mean, again, fantastic lines we're
So
seeing
now we're
here.
going into top 4. There's a Fennel in top 4.
Yeah.
That we know for sure.
Fennel for sure. Yeah. What else do we reckon? Do we reckon Nolden made it?
I think Cormac could have
So knowing Cormac's opponent, what we're looking at is potentially a Rezel versus the Mortar matchup.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, anime as hell, but we're at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Like, anime or not, that's the matchup.
Yeah. What do you think about the Raziel and Kalia matchup? What do you think is favoured?
So I think Rezel, only because it's at the moment I think the better deck slightly. I think Liel thrives on like Fennel big numbers, but I think Rezel can tank that a lot better than a lot of other decks. Rezel feels a lot more equipped at tanking big attacks.
Yes,
because it wants to drop the crits, right? It wants to.
I think if Cormac has won his game, I think he is crossing his fingers and hoping that April has won hers, because he knows that his deck is designed
to beat hers. There's no way April wins that matchup unless divine intervention happens.
So let's hope.
Yeah.
And I think April's the opposite. I think right now she's crossing her fingers and hoping that Cormac loses his game.
Yeah.
But we will see who has won theirs very shortly. Have a small intermission.
We get an intermission. We quickly get some more results, and we can probably come back a little bit before the next round begins, and we can discuss a bit more about what happened in top 8 in V.
Brilliant.
So take care, guys, and we'll see you in just a moment.
See you. Bye bye.